As promised, we have the one video that everybody has been waiting with bated breath. Yes, in this video we're going to be comparing the best flagship smartphones and their cameras against each other. For this comparison, we've chosen 4 phones which include the Mate 20 Pro, the iPhone XS Max, the Pixel 3 XL and the Note 9, all of which will compete against each other for the title of the best flagship camera. Hi, I'm Ershad from Mr. Phone and let's get this battle started. But before we move on, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever Mr. Phone puts out an awesome new camera comparison or a new review as well. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about the camera comparison itself and how we went ahead with the process. For the purpose of the comparison, we actually shot images across multiple scenarios like we always do, which is around 18 scenarios using the 4 smartphones. For each round of testing, we've actually given points to each one of these cameras, and in the end, the final tally will help us identify the winner. The comparison is generally very objective and it also includes a lot of the subjective expertise that Mr. Phone brings. So you know what? I know that your mileage will vary, so let us know in the comment section below what you thought of the images and which one was your favorite as well. It should be a fun little competition. As usual, let's start off by taking a quick look at the camera specs of all the phones. You can see the specs table on your display right about now. Pause it if you want to compare. Also, I'm still baffled at the fact that the Pixel 3 XL has only a single camera setup on the rear to achieve all that it achieves with photography. Anyway, I'm jumping the gun here. As usual, let's start off with our wide shot of landscape, where we mostly check for color accuracy in auto mode and the details captured by the sensors inside the phone. Right off the bat, you can see that the Pixel 3 XL and the Mate 20 Pro take a very contrast heavy image compared to the other two. Especially in the Pixel 3 XL, you will notice that a lot of details are lost in the darker portions. The colors are also not very accurate. Similarly, the colors are not very accurate in the picture captured by the phone in the third spot in this round, the iPhone XS Max. The iPhone favors the orange tones and creates sort of a cinematic look. But more importantly, at 100% crop, you will notice that the sensor doesn't offer too many details. It is still slightly better than the Pixel 3 XL though. The picture captured by the Mate 20 Pro, despite the colder temperature and subdued colors, packs in a ton of details. What the Mate 20 Pro nails is the corner-to-corner sharpness. None of the other phones come close. Also, let's not forget that the Mate 20 Pro also has a dedicated wide-angle camera, which gives it a bit of an edge. That said, it is the fairly accurate color science and the additional sharpness in the Note 9 picture that sort of makes it the winner in this round. It is a slightly warm picture, yes, but man, does it look good or what? When you look at the picture at 100% crop, the Note 9's image has such sharpness that brings out the edges in the tiny leaves as well. Obviously, it is the camera algorithm that adds a bit of sharpness, but in all honesty, it doesn't look artificial and therefore it looks really good. Evidently, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9's sample is our winner in this round. Going closer to a subject, I chose a yellow flower and a flower with gradient hues of pink and white. One look at the sample of the yellow flower captured by the phones and you will immediately notice the overexposure by the Mate 20 Pro. In fact, even the second picture is slightly overexposed. In the third spot in this round is the Pixel 3 XL's sample. Shocking? Yes, I know. It is not that the Pixel has captured a bad image, it is just that the color science is completely off and it looks very contrast heavy. It is a good looking image, no doubt, and I know that a lot of folks will actually love it. Whether I like the photo or not is secondary here because I actually do, but what matters is the fact that technically it is not a very accurate picture. But man, is it Instagram ready or what? Which leaves us with the iPhone XS Max and the Galaxy Note 9. While both the images look equally good, the iPhone XS Max is not as detailed and botches up the contrast in the yellow flower. In the pink one, the XS Max's image looks extremely well restrained with a great control over the exposure. But the Samsung takes the closest to accurate colors and a stupendous amount of details that are visible at 100% crops. We have to give it to Samsung's engineers for reining in on the oversaturation that Samsung's flagships were known for in the past. Coming to the portrait shot, you can see right off the bat that the Galaxy Note 9 and the Mate 20 Pro take very average pictures, and we've rated them accordingly in the bottom spots in this round. The real fight is between the Pixel 3 XL and the iPhone XS Max, as it always has been when it comes to portrait mode. The iPhone XS Max always takes great portrait shots and it is visible here. From a very believable blur to the fact that you can now change the level of background blur after you've taken the picture makes it a wholesome portrait shooter. In my testing, this picture of Srihari is great with great details and a believable blur as well. almost like it was shot from a 50mm prime lens. But one close look at the area above Shree's hair and you will notice that the algorithm has botched up the cutout. This happens on and off, not just on the iPhone but also on the Pixel, but as luck would have it, for the Pixel 3 XL, the background cutout and the blur is absolutely fine in our sample. And it keeps astounding me that Google manages to achieve all of this with a single camera and some software wizardry. Also, let's not forget that the Pixel 3 XL's image looks crisp AF. In our HDR test, the Mate 20 Pro and the Galaxy Note 9 take the third and the fourth spot respectively. While Samsung does very little to bring out details from the shadows, the Mate 20 Pro struggles with keeping the flare in check. We know for a fact that Apple and Google have been spending a lot of time and energy into using the power of powerful SoCs, camera hardware, and an evolved software algorithm to build a very advanced HDR algorithm. This helps the iPhone XS Max and the Pixel 3 XL capture some stunning dynamic range in auto mode. When you switch off the HDR manually and switch it back on both the phones, you will see a stupendously good processing happening in the backend. The Pixel has always had an impressive HDR mode, but the iPhone XS Max beats it comfortably now. Just look at the samples here. The iPhone's control over the orange sun and the subsequent gradient of the sky looks plain stunning. It is clearly the stupendously good smart HDR at work here. It is no doubt then that the iPhone wins the HDR round. The addition of a secondary telephoto lens helps phones like the Mate 20 Pro, Note 9 and the iPhone XS Max offer optical zoom without losing out on detail and information. The Pixel 3 XL on the other hand has a single camera and uses the power of software and image stitching to create the illusion of an optical zoom. Yes, the Pixel 3 XL ended up in the last spot in this test, but that's because I was pixel peeping for detail retention. If you look at it at regular size, the Pixel 3 XL's image looks perfectly fine. I'm still in awe of all the software wizardry happening in the background. Imagine if Google decides to lease all the machine learning and AI tech to other brands. Man, that'd be something. Between the iPhone XS Max and the Note 9, both of which offer 2x optical zoom by default, the iPhone takes a slightly better shot just because of all the details on offer. But the real king of zoom is the Mate 20 Pro. Not only can it do 3x optical zoom, it can go as far as 5x hybrid zoom. And our samples have a lot of details on offer, as you can see for yourself. As far as selfies go, it is only a battle between the Note 9, the iPhone XS Max and the Pixel 3 XL. Are you wondering why? Because the Mate 20 Pro selfie camera doesn't hold a candle to these phones. The Note 9 comes in the third spot in this round because of the very heavy warm tones. Now between the iPhone XS Max and the Pixel 3 XL, it is a difficult choice to make really. While a lot of folks will like the wonderfully warm facial tones of the iPhone XS Max, the Pixel 3 XL has a lot of sharpness on offer. Since we have to pick one winner of the two, I went with the Pixel 3 XL just because of all the detail on offer. But both the selfies are equally good, honestly. Coming to the background blur, the Mate 20 Pro drops the ball once again here. The cutout is not very accurate in the sample as you look close at my right cheek. On the other hand, the Note 9 does a good job of separating the background with clean cuts. But the extremely warm color tone is a bit of a put-off. Moving on to the Pixel 3 XL's selfie portrait shot, you will notice that it is a very aggressive blur which creates some rough edges around my hair. The iPhone offers a much smoother, really natural blur, which is why I'm going with the iPhone XS Max as the winner in this round. Let's move on to our video test where I shoot 4K 30fps video using all the three cameras. Admittedly, the iPhone can do 4K at 60fps as well, but I wanted to maintain a level playing field. You can clearly see for yourself that the Mate 20 Pro has an oversaturated footage with an issue with exposing my face right. Also, my voice sounds very artificial, like it went through a round of auto-tuning. Okay, so now we're shooting a video using the iPhone XS Max and the Mate 20 Pro in 4K 30fps to check out the image quality, the stabilization, and what it does with the exposure and a little bit of the quality when I move around. Now the sun is falling directly on me. Earlier it wasn't, so now you can see how it looks and what the two cameras do. Moving on to the Pixel 3 XL's footage, you will notice that the stabilization is not as good as the iPhone XS Max, but the image quality is exemplary with close to natural colors. Now we are shooting a video on 4K 30fps on the Pixel 3 XL and the Note 9. What we're going to see is how the image stabilization is, what is the video quality like, what is the sound recording like. As I move around a little bit and Shri pans me and the light falls on my face, you'll see what happens with the footage as well. The second spot in this round goes to the Note 9 for its exceptional sound recording and good video quality as well. It is a warmer footage compared to the iPhone XS Max, which captures my favorite 4K video of all the phones here. Now we are shooting a video on 4K 30fps on the Pixel 3 XL and the Note 9. What we're going to see is how the image stabilization is, what is the video quality like, what is the sound recording like. As I move around a little bit and Shri pans me and the light falls on my face, you'll see what happens with the footage as well. From excellent color accuracy to facial tones to exposure control to focus lock to dynamic range in the background to sound recording to video stabilization, the XS Max just captures a kick-ass video worth sharing. No wonder there are filmmakers who are using the iPhone to make full-length feature films. Okay, so now we're shooting a video using the iPhone XS Max and the Mate 20 Pro in 4K 30 FPS to check out the image quality, the stabilization, and what it does with the exposure and a little bit of the quality when I move around. Now the sun is falling directly on me. Earlier it wasn't, so now you can see how it looks and what the two cameras do. Moving on, obviously you don't need to shoot in 4K all the time. Switching to a lower resolution 1080p format is pretty good too. But unlike the final standings while recording 4K video, there are a few changes in this round. The Mate 20 Pro continues to shoot fairly unimpressive videos with average stabilization and a dull footage overall. I'm currently shooting a video in 1080p on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. I'm panning around the surrounding for you guys to see how it looks. And you can see that I'm turning around a bit right now. And I'll walk as well. You can also at the same time judge the sound quality as well. Obviously the pan is not very smooth. But yeah, I mean, this is how it looks. This is at 1080p 60 FPS, guys. And very surprisingly, the iPhone XS Max takes the last but second spot because of the unnaturally reproduced sky and very weird sounding recording. Now we're shooting a video using the iPhone XS Max at 1080p 60 FPS, and now I'm going to pan around a little bit to show you guys if it can keep focus, what happens to the exposure and the stabilization as well. So as I pan around, you can also listen to my voice so you can figure out how is that new awesome stereo recording on the iPhone XS Max. And I just pan around a little bit more and I'll walk a little straight ahead to show you guys how the image stabilization is as far as the iPhone XS Max at 1080p 60 FPS is concerned. The second spot is taken by the Galaxy Note 9. It has a warm image, but the image stabilization and the sound quality is exceptional. This video is shot using the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 at 1080p and 60 FPS. What I'm doing is panning around the surrounding to see how it holds the shot and the stabilization as well. At the same time, you can hear me talking so that you can figure out how my sound quality is well. And I'll just keep walking a little ahead to record a little bit of the image stabilization and figure out if it can hold the stabilization in the video. But it is the Pixel 3 XL that does the best job with its image stabilization and crisp picture quality. The stabilization feels like the Pixel 3 XL footage was shot using a gimbal. This video is being shot using the Pixel 3 XL at 1080p at the moment in auto frames per second, which means that it could be shooting at 60 FPS or doing a variable frame rate as well. I'll just turn around to see how it can pan and if it can do a little bit of image stabilization as well when I'm panning around. And you can listen to my voice as well to figure out how the audio recording goes. And I'll walk a little ahead to show you guys how the Pixel 3 XL holds up when you walk with it and shoot a little bit of footage, if the stabilization is any good or not. In our slow motion testing, we shot in 240 FPS on all the phones. The iPhone XS Max and the Note 9 offer the best slow motion videos, taking the first and the second spot respectively. The slow motion video captured by the XS Max looks particularly crisp and has a great control over the focus as well. Coming to shooting indoors under incandescent lights, the Note 9 smoothens over details in an effort to do noise reduction. At 100% crop, you will notice a very soft image with no sharpness at all. The iPhone XS Max, on the contrary, offers more details despite retaining the noise. Take a look at the sofa, for example. The second and the first spot are captured by the Mate 20 Pro and the Pixel 3 XL respectively. The Mate 20 Pro maintains a good balance of smoothing out the noise and retaining the details, especially when you look at the corners of the image or the sofa. You will notice the difference. Pixel 3 XL's image has a bit of noise, but it retains a lot of the details. Also, the color temperature is super accurate in the Pixel 3 XL shot. As usual, in selfies, the Mate 20 Pro struggles. In this round where I shot a picture of myself using the front camera indoors, the Mate 20 Pro offers a soft image. The Note 9's image is sharp, but it looks pretty artificial. The iPhone XS Max, on the other hand, takes a very good looking selfie, one that I would love to share online. but it is the Pixel 3 XL's shot that actually shines even in real situations. Just look at the details on offer. But yes, the color temperature is off, and this is where I want to tell you guys one thing. The color temperature of a picture is something that can be fixed in post or while shooting by choosing the right temperature setting. By switching to the cloudy temperature setting, I could get a much more natural looking image on the Pixel 3 XL. So even if you don't like the overall color temperature of a particular shot, don't fret. It can be changed to look the way you want it to. And therefore, what matters when you are comparing cameras is honestly the actual reproduction of colors, sensor details on offer, and how the software algorithm eliminates the anomalies created by the sensor and the lens. In our low light test, I really expected the Mate 20 Pro to shine, but it does the exact opposite. The phone captured a soft image devoid of details. It also shoots a very cool image when compared to the other photos. The Note 9, which captures the third spot, shoots a warm image which mostly looks good, but it is still pretty soft. Goes without saying that the phone automatically switched to the f/1.5 aperture to shoot the low light shot. The Pixel 3 XL captures a nice warm image, but it suffers from excessive noise and chromatic aberration around the corners. The iPhone XS Max has the most natural looking image with a good control over the noise and a decent color reproduction as well, which is why the XS Max is my winner in this round. The one new addition to flagships this year is a dedicated night mode. Evidently, this helps phones capture images in extremely dark situations like never before. It is a pity that the iPhone XS Max doesn't have a dedicated night mode. Therefore, it sits at the bottom in this round. I switched between f/2.4 and f/1.5 apertures to show you the difference in image quality using the Note 9. Evidently, the picture is not as impressive as the Mate 20 Pro and the Pixel 3 XL's dedicated night modes, but it is still pretty useful. I quite like Samsung's idea of using a variable aperture, honestly. Having said that, when you're comparing the dedicated software-based night modes, the Pixel 3 XL just smokes the competition. Yes, the image looks slightly oversaturated, but man, the Pixel's night sight can capture details even in faraway background in the area behind the curtain. It is just stunning to look at. Now moving on to low light with flash, I'm just surprised that the Pixel 3 XL achieves the best shot even using flash. I mean, none of the others actually come close. My second favorite image is the one captured by the iPhone XS Max. There is literally no doubt in my mind that the Pixel 3 XL decimates the competition when you take selfies in low light. While the Note 9 and the Mate 20 Pro capture soft images, the iPhone XS Max struggles with getting the exposure right. The Pixel 3 XL, on the other hand, as usual, has a ton of details on offer. Just like the low light selfie mode, the flash performance is also pretty damn good on the Pixel 3 XL. There are just so much details on offer that you're flabbergasted the moment you look at the samples. The Pixel 3 XL just looks so much better than the other three phones. All in all, the Pixel 3 XL is really the king of low light shots, whether using the rear camera or the front camera. For the final round, let's assess the camera app on all the phones. Apple's camera app is easy to pick up and use, and in all honesty has become the reference point of design for a lot of Chinese smartphone brands. But I honestly believe that for the hardware on offer, Apple really needs to offer slightly more. If not a pro mode, at least move crucial settings like changing the video recording quality to within the app. Who likes to go to the main settings app to actually change the camera settings? That's just so absurd. The Huawei Mate 20 Pro, on the other hand, offers a camera app that is packed to the gill with features. Especially the special video mode where you can separate the background from the subject and turn it into monochrome. But the devil is in the details, and the details are stashed away in the deep recesses of the app. For example, a simple HDR mode setting is hidden in more settings, and the Master AI setting is switched on by default, and in case you want to change it, you have to hit the main settings to actually change it, which means Huawei wants to enforce the Master AI mode, and I'm not really a fan of that. Coming to the Pixel 3 XL, Google has included a very functional app that is easy to pick up and use just like the iPhones. The interface is similar to the whole UI where you slide a pill at the bottom to switch between the apps. Within the camera app, you can just slide between the modes. And there is the phenomenal night mode on offer as well. But the best thing about Google Camera app is that thanks to the phenomenal hardware, once you lock focus, it can actually track a moving subject. You will rarely get a blurred shot. This camera app is my second favorite camera app between the four phones. Finally, my favorite camera app of all is the one included in the Note 9. This camera app has, like the Mate 20 Pro, a smattering of features on offer, and yet it is easy to navigate and use. Simply things like sliding the shutter button left or right to zoom in and zoom out comes in really handy. Also, you can change the depth of the background live in the live focus mode. There's just a ton of useful stuff on offer that is easily available for you to use. Heck, you can even use the S Pen to capture a selfie, making it easy to stretch your hand far wide to capture more people in the frame. So that's it. We have a final winner. The Pixel 3 XL comes out on top as the best flagship camera in our camera comparison. You know what? On your display right now, you can see the final tally, so you can check for yourself where each phone stands in this comparison. Now, to discuss a little bit about how the Pixel 3 XL won the competition is because of its stupendous sensors and the fact that the camera algorithm is incredible with machine learning and artificial intelligence all baked into the software. Having said that, Apple has done a stupendous job of improving the camera algorithm this year in 2018, and the iPhone XS Max takes great pictures too. So you know what, it doesn't really matter if you pick the iPhone XS Max or the Pixel 3 XL, both of which will actually provide a good camera experience to you guys. In fact, if we didn't have the newly introduced night mode, I think the iPhone XS Max might have actually reduced the difference in the points in the final tally. Now, talking about the Galaxy Note 9, which actually came in the third position, it is a great camera. It is a very capable camera in most scenarios. The video recording is great, and you can use that S Pen to actually take selfies. And the camera app is filled with a ton of features for people who like that kind of stuff. The Note 9 didn't become the best flagship smartphone in our Mr. Phone Awards by fluke. Now, did it? Obviously, the Note 9 is a stupendously good phone with dependable cameras. Now, coming to the Mate 20 Pro, it might come as a shock to a lot of people that the Mate 20 Pro didn't end up higher in the points tally. That is primarily because we test across multiple scenarios and the selfie camera on the Mate 20 Pro does not stand up to the other cameras. But the rear camera is actually very good with so much details on offer. It's got a big massive 40MP sensor which downsamples to 10MP, and the crispness from corner to corner is absolutely incredible. And the phone has the Pro in the name primarily because it is a tinkerer's camera, and you will have to get into the settings and understand how you can take the full potential of using something like the Mate 20 Pro. Overall though, buy whichever flagship smartphone, you're gonna get an incredible camera experience, no doubt about it. But if we have to pick one winner, and we did pick one winner, and that, my friends, is the Pixel 3 XL. So what did you think about our camera comparison? Do let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Ershad from Mr. Phone signing off. Goodbye.